So I'm going to add major shapes. What I would be looking for is the fact that like this looks like a triangle. This kind of looks like a weird rectangle. This part looks like a triangle. The strawberry itself kind of looks like a teardrop. Or I could just put oval in for now. The fact that like this looks like a triangle. So I'm going to look for major other shapes that you can see in the way you folded or have torn it. But I'm still going to start with, well, I don't have a corner. Actually, I do have a little bit of a corner on this side, like right here. But I have mostly major angles. So I'm going to lay that major angle, parallel angle, this back side. All right, then I'm kind of looking at like, okay, so this rip or tear is more triangular here. I have that whole flap that I can line up my pencil with it and then translate down. I have that folded kind of flap. And then I have another angle on the bag. I'm just going to do a major triangle piece here too. And that kind of lines up with this little corner here. Actually, this lines up with that corner there. Okay, so that would be my blocking in. Let me move this up a little bit. All right, then I'm going to put in my strawberry. I'm looking how much space. So it kind of starts here, probably ends about here. I'm not going to worry about the stem for now. So that's your first step. This is all going to get erased. Remember, you're trying to draw super lightly. So then once you're actually ready, then you're going to do a simple contour outline. So still not full detail. I would just draw major wrinkles that change the shape of the bag itself. So you're going to add a simple contour line. So remember, we're doing 3, they're fast, not a lot of detail. Don't waste your time because you're only choosing one of them. And then we'll go back and add more detail on that tomorrow. Okay, so from there, I might have to make some adjustments. Like, actually, now that I'm looking a little closer, this is more angled like this way. Okay. All right, then if I'm looking at my paper bag and I'm following my eye kind of slowly around like we did for the negative space drawing, like this part kind of dips down, dips up, and goes this way. There's like an under part that I can see. There's a major wrinkle here. I can see part of the indentation in the back. I have like a wrinkle that runs across the top. Another one. I'd say that one's probably good. So I can start cleaning it up a little bit. All right, then if I'm looking at like this piece, it's kind of ripped and torn. I have another piece that kind of folds over. So I'm following my eye, doing a basic contour line. All right, still have that corner, and I have parallel and then parallel on the inside. And if you're struggling, leave your guidelines. That way I can tell, like, is it that you need help with guidelines? Like, do you need help with the actual drawing part? So if you're really struggling, don't clean it up so much. That way I kind of know by looking at it what you need help with. Okay, we have that piece. Okay. So it's just really basic. And then tomorrow we'll talk about going back and adding major details. So kind of look at how that comes down. Okay, this probably comes up a little bit. So then I'm going to adjust. All right. So if you're going to include a lot of extra stuff, so let's say, I'm just going to draw it out of my head real fast. I'm going to do a vertical bag and I'm going to have stuff coming out. So maybe I want the bag to only take up 1/3 of the space, and then I have 2/3 left for whatever I'm going to have coming out of the bag. So maybe I actually have like the bag, and maybe it is ripped down the side. I have the piece in the back. And then I have whatever coming out. And then I'm going to get pictures for whatever's coming out. So you might have to go back to what we learned for negative space and give yourself some division lines for spacing before you actually start, which is what we didn't do yesterday and what I didn't show you in the last little sketch. I would say, like, if you're gonna, like, maybe just thinking ahead, I probably wouldn't make the paper bag any smaller than at least 1/4 of the paper, just because the paper bag doesn't seem like a lot, but it is a lot of little stuff to draw and shade. So you want it to be big enough that you can actually draw and shade it. And then maybe I'm going to do like a whole scene or whatever in the background. That's okay. But I wouldn't do it like any smaller than 1/4 of the size of the paper. Okay. So we're going to go over gluing.